Hello and welcome to this week's episode of TLDR CLG. This is the week of May 25th, 2015, and these are my co-hosts Cry and Jim. So we're going to be talking about what happened with CLG in LoL, Halo, and CS. So can you guys just bring me into what happened after all the drama? LoL, what do we have, Cry?
Pretty much nothing. After the whole 18-page manifesto, nothing big's really happened. We still don't have an announcement for Coach, meaning next week we're going to find out because LCS is coming back, so no escape, CLG. But other than that, nothing really.
They'll have a plastic dummy, and then that just have
a
big band.
Also, or the coach might just have like a bag over his head just so we don't know who he is, Maybe that's how much they care.
Yeah.
But we don't really have anything. There was a rule change in LCS, or the substitution rule change.
There were actually two major changes.
Oh, yeah. Go, sorry.
Okay, so the two major rule changes that Cry were talking about were the substitution rule change, which says that we can now change mid-game or in-between the week. Additionally, there's another rule change, which is about region locking, or like declaring your residencies, so there isn't any sort of resident requirement. Yes, like you can register where you want to be, so now you can have 5 Koreans on your team without any problems because you just registered as a North American player, because Riot realized that North American players are really bad and they can't compete with the top Koreans.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
totally.
After all your bias, and if anyone couldn't understand that because Brendan was choppy as all hell, yeah, there's 2 rule changes. You can sub players in between. You have 2 games on a week. You can sub them in and further, rather than having non-locked in. Was it? Well, you can have non-locked rather than
72 hours notice before, and then you couldn't change your roster.
Yeah, no, you don't have to have locked in rosters. I'm talking about so for international players, we don't have 3 states of player deciding things. Now
that was confusing as hell. You could be a resident, a non-resident, an exempt non-resident. Hey.
Yeah, more or less, players after being in a region for some time will be able to determine prior to the next season split or whatever what region that they're a part of, and they can't just swap mid split or something like that.
But like basically the rule that's like most relevant to CLG as of the moment is the fact that they can have Phobelter playing one day and then Huhi playing the other.
Correct.
The substitution change was pretty much the biggest thing relative to CLG right now.
I thought the biggest change was that you could just import an entire Korean team and replace everyone on CLG.
Okay, well we don't know if Hotshot's rolling in that much money. Okay, but
we can buy IM. It's fine.
Yeah, but like just at the moment, that's what's happening with the league scene.
There isn't much else.
Fabulous.
Okay.
LCS is back next week.
So moving on to the fantastic world of CSGO, we are going to be talking about ESCA, CEVO, as well as our
performance in each of them. Yes.
No, not really. We're talking about our new Brazilian overlords.
Hey,
go.
The Brazilians are not ahead of us in any of the standings, and they're still even with us in amount of games played, so they're not ahead. More or less, what I'm getting at is an ESL. Both CLG is tied for first with 5 other teams at 18 points, but CLG has the round differential lead by a large margin at 51 rounds to most other teams like 20 to below. There are C9 is like 1 game behind CLG, and that's the only team that's behind in games there. So C9 could play a game, win a game, and take over the first place spot. But other than that, CLG is ahead of Keystars in their matchups. And then going on to CEVO at the same time, CLG is currently in first place, tied for first place internationally, even with if you include international teams. They're tied for first with Virtus Pro. But in North America...
That's not comparable. We were playing against Affinity, and they were playing against me. So it's like 2 different horde beasts.
Let's get past that. But CLG is 5-2, and that's just win-loss. Currently sitting at 11 points, and with Affinity at 9 points and Luminosity also at 9 points. They are 3-2 and 2-0 respectively. Their other points come from several ties. Each of these teams, Affinity and Luminosity, have played as many games as CLG. I think maybe 1 game behind actually, but have many more ties in their setup than CLG has.
So they
don't
still
get those
got
full
some
points.
leeway. They still got
So
some leeway in case some other teams.
Instead of 2 points, tie is 1 point, right?
Correct.
And loss
Basically,
no.
anytime you win a map, you get 1 point.
Okay.
Okay.
You're playing
But no,
best
so
of
there's no bonus 3 points
No bonus.
for winning.
No bonus.
I know like LPL does 3 points if you win both matches.
No bonus.
Oh no,
not
that's LCK.
Also, it's unfortunate for these games
Alright.
because the VODs are not available on Ghost of Gamers, at least.
Yeah, this well, I went around scouring the internet and I could barely find anything.
Yeah.
It seems like they just either haven't been uploaded. ESEA and CEVO just have kind of sat off. Like you have to go hunt them down. If anyone can find them, please push me to that because I found the
broadcast might be saved.
I've looked through their Twitch broadcast. There's like I went to the Twitch page and didn't find anything there.
No, they're not. They're
their
not.
Play
on.
CEVO
They're not.
YouTube pages, all their different sites, and it seems to not be there. There are other games there, but for whatever reason, CLG's games aren't there. But
Yeah.
let's
Okay,
get past
let's go
that and
into
actually
the
talk about the actual games. Yeah.
the specifics. So I actually watched 2 games. I think I watched the one on Mirage, which was Get to Elevate. Now I watched the Keystars game, so just like break down what happened in the Mirage game, who was doing well, what was going on, who shot who died, smack splash, you know.
I mean,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
well, I know versus Elevate, they won like amazingly. It was a 16-8, and they started on T side, I think. I believe they started on T side. But yeah, the game on Mirage versus Elevate was pretty good. They were pretty much destroying, not too much, but pretty well. It was a convincing win. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
It seems like Tarek and FNS were doing like the heavy lifting that game. 22 frags for Tarek, 23 frags for FNF, which is actually kind of insane because
Oh,
FNF
JDM
usually
was
is,
on
like,
this one, by the way.
yeah, JDM was playing for this match. That was kind of out of the ordinary for CLG because FNS normally isn't leading the scoreboard most of the time. But
In fact,
it seems
actually,
like this whole,
one thing to know is, in fact, in all of our games this week, Finesse had a very high frag line, and I think that was noted a couple times recently. One thing to note is in all 3 of these ESEA, ESL league games, we had JDM subbing in, sitting on the roster then.
And you said that was because of a time issue regarding Low and Lucky?
I'm not entirely sure.
awesome.
So my understanding, and from the hearsay that I've heard, is that JDM has obligations that make it hard for him to make games that are at certain times of the day early. The earlier the game, the worse it is for him. So these games, all of these games in ESEA were played later in the day versus the CEVO games are played around like 5 p.m. PST.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but further from that, yeah, I think we were pretty much through the Elevate Mirage game. We played Elevate in our CEVO match as well. But in the Mirage game, at least, it was a pretty handily dealt with victory. I say one of the.
Oh, go.
I have some notes on it. Let me just grab that real quick. I have several notes on JDM. What's that? I have round 8. If you go watch round 8, probably is worthwhile. I have a noted JDM. Damn girl. Because I think he got a 4K sitting in jungle, just pivoting and looking at connector, and I think he pivoted, looked at connector, and then in Palace, and was just like bouncing back and forth, killing everyone. But
Okay.
further than
But I
that, what's
think,
it? We had the method game was the next one.
An interesting point.
Dude,
I think
that game was crazy. Sorry, continue, Brendan.
I think an interesting point to note is that like a couple weeks ago, the last couple weeks, Cutler's been like on fire and like carrying the frags a lot of the time. But it seems like he's like dropped down a little bit. He's in a little bit of a slump, or just not doing as good as he was before, and he's dropped back down to like his normal or slightly below average for his kill lines, right?
Oh, it's hard to say.
But, like,
I
he
don't
was
want
really
to.
on
I don't
the
want to
last
just
couple of
have
weeks.
1 week stand for it, and in the same place. Like I don't give Finesse all the credit in the world for having a good frag line. Like,
No, but it's noticeably different from what it was in the past 3 or 4 weeks, where Cutler's dropped a little bit in performance, is not doing as, isn't going as strong as he was
well,
before.
here's the thing. this happened mostly in the ESEA games, all of which were played with JDM. And hey, when they play with JDM, it's put to
There's a difference in play
well,
style.
the whole team's play style. It may be more akin to how they were talking about Katowice and all those games. When they play in these major international tournaments, they want Cutler. He wants to be a support. He's like he's there to make it so that he can aim and he can play crossfire, but he's going to peek in and get killed before something and set up Tarek or someone else or JDM to get a kill. Like that may be more noticeable. I don't know if that is their exact strategic
that could be a
mindset change. I don't think you look at his numbers and it's not that bad. He wasn't bottom frag in each of the games. He had he was third from bottom in he bottom frag 2 of the ESEA games, but also didn't bottom frag bottom frag one of the CEVO games. But like that's only a majority to a reasonable degree. Like in either case, it wasn't that by a huge number. And the Keat Stars one, I think the big thing in the Keat Stars game would have been that unlike other games, Hazed didn't step up as highly.
Okay.
But so let's get back to actually just running through the method game. Yes, this was played on Inferno, right?
It was. The method game, it was a T-side start for them on Inferno, right? And what was interesting about this was the end game score was like 16-8 in favor of CLG, so we won. But actually, like at the very first half of it, CLG was 8-7, and literally the rest of the game, Method was only able to take like one more round off of CLG, and they just got the rest of it. Which I don't know, that was just really funny because it was pretty. It was pretty much like a stomp the second half, and it was nice. Like I mean, even like it was pretty obvious they were gonna win. Even like the bets were like in CLG's favor and such. But that was it was a good game, man.
Yeah, I remember.
Tarek was like did really well, and especially Finesse. I think Finesse was like on fire that game. I think.
I was busy during this game, and I remember turning it on, and I recall Method being ahead on their pretty early on since Method was started CT side. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there like kind of worried because I think it was like 5-2 or something, and
yeah.
I had to get back to some work, and I looked back later and still see Method at 5 round wins. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, no, like it was a pretty like one's getting ahead, the other's catching up, one's getting ahead, the other's catching up, but then the second half was just like whoosh. So that was intense to watch. I'm sorry you guys won't be able or hopefully you'll be able to see it
at some point. I'm gonna
upload the VOD.
At some point.
I'll link them if I find them, is the best way to put it. And then I think we've like touched on the Cobblestone game versus Keat Stars several times so far. And Brendan, you seem to have an opinion on it. Hopefully your internet's not.
It seems like it was a highlight of this week because I watched it live and it seemed like a
top caliber team match is a good way to put it.
Yeah, because Keat Stars is even though they're a Brazilian team, they are one of the strongest teams in North America. I play in North America, and I think that a lot of players like they have very, very limited exposure to them because of like I think Peter was interacting with them at both ClutchCon and at IEM Katowice or ESL 1. Coach Peter, which was may he rest in peace. But you know, so like for Keat Stars was like it's like they've had a little bit of connection with them. They've been playing very well in LANs, but it was in Cobblestone, so it's been rebalanced a little bit. So maybe. You know, so it's been rebalanced a little bit, so maybe it wasn't like as bad as Cobble used to be, but it was a very good match to watch nonetheless. Fallen and Fur, I think it was Fur, were like going crazy in that game and like killing people left and right. But I think JDM and like the whole team.
Right. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I wasn't able to catch this game.
Oh, okay.
Was this Cobblestone? I'm sorry. I'm looking around for.
I know it was Cobblestone. It was Cobblestone.
Okay.
Was it Cobblestone? Because I'm seeing Overpass listed. I'm gonna go. I see. The reason I say Cobblestone is because the HLTV says it was Cobblestone.
Okay. Whereas I remember watching Cobblestone.
And you remember watching Cobblestone? Okay, well we'll leave it at that.
I bet against someone in the CLG fighting chat. I said that if CLG wins this, you buy me a copy of CS:GO. If CLG loses, I'll give you all my skins.
And I well, as long as we have confirmation, that works.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you know, like betting is the best way to confirm whether or not CLG was playing on Cobble.
Let's just say.
But it was a very good match. JDM was going off quite well. The team wasn't like I think Keat went up really heavily on the first half, but then
Mhm.
CLG started to claw back in the second half and almost mounted a comeback, and then got to, as you see, a 16-12 score, where it was super close. It was, if you could find a VOD, I would highly recommend watching this because it was super exciting, even though CLG may not have pulled out the victory at the end.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And
Okay.
let's say the last game we have to talk about, or match we have to talk about, is the two maps, the best of two versus Elevate, which would followed up the previous best of one versus Elevate. This was played on Dust 2 and Overpass.
It was 2-0 for them. So
It was a CLG 2-0'd Elevate pretty handily. Is a good way to put it. The games were much closer than their ESL game, though. It was 16-14 and 16-13, respectively.
You say it was handedly. It's like 16-14, 16-13. That doesn't seem very blowout.
well, I mean, they won both of them.
I mean, just frag lines overall looked.
Okay.
You compare if you go and compare them, Elevate didn't look up to the par of CLG. It's just they pulled off rounds that I guess a good way to put it is they shouldn't have. They pulled off rounds. Yeah, they stole rounds, and CLG threw rounds. And I think a big part of this is one thing I noted earlier in these Elevate games. The first game on Dust 2, we played with Lucky, who bottom fragged.
the first game was on Overpass, I believe.
I have noted that Dust 2 was first, but
Was it? Oh, okay, my bad.
I wasn't
way.
watching. You guys can argue it.
Yeah. No, I see it. No, I have them both. Either way, we had. I wasn't able to catch most of these. I went and saw someone streaming them after the fact somehow, whatever. But and then in game on Overpass, they had Mo subbing in rather than Lucky, and Mo did reasonably well. I think one thing to note is you look at the wildly jumping numbers of Tarek's frag line are worth noting. Some games he is carry, some games he is not so much.
Also,
Still
like
doing okay.
in the past, CLG tends to like win games versus Elevate in general. So
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Like, out
if
of
you go
8
way
games.
back, there was like
Back
was
to
it
the
ClutchCon?
Netcode Guides Day.
No, back to like
Not-
ClutchCon, and not that way back, but like
You said way back, so I assume all the way back to Netcode Guides.
Yeah, sure, all the way back. No, it was in some of the more recent tournaments prior to like the end of the last CS:GO season. We had a few dropped best of threes to Elevate, but seem to have gotten past that more recently than not. It was actually a game
So,
against
do you guys have any-
Elevate. It was a game against Elevate on Nuke that was how we got into. I think it was the ESEA LAN final.
ESEA LAN finals? I think so.
Yeah, we were able to make it out off of this game that went into.
And there was like a time difference, right? Or
It
was
went,
like
no,
a
it went into
difference
round
that
difference, overtime and stuff. It went a bit nuts.
Yeah. But I think it was that was pretty good for coverage for CS:GO. Do you guys have anything else you want to add about CS:GO for this week?
Not particularly much. No, I'm good.
Okay. The match
Because Brendan, your mic is cutting out and the internet is exploding on your face.
Oh god.
Let's just say he was trying to say we're gonna go talk about Halo now, right?
Woo.
The Master
Halo.
Chief Collection.
Halo
Party.
Master Chief Collection. We had an HCS. I
Clutch.
think it was HCS number 3. HCS season
Yes,
2
correct.
Cup 3. This
Yeah. Clutch was filling in for Ogre again. If you guys follow him on social media, he's been posting pictures of himself in wedding tux. It's pretty cute. And
Oh, I
it's
thought you were
pretty
talking about Clutch. Like Clutch is.
Oh,
no,
He's
no,
in a wedding
Ogre.
tux playing
Ogre.
Halo.
Ogre's been posting pictures of the wedding on stuff on his social media, Twitter. You guys should check him out and support him. Tell him he's awesome. Anyway, he should be back next week. Should be. We're not sure, but as far as we've heard, so he should be back. Right now we're ranked 5th in what is it?
The
What is it?
HCS standings.
HCS.
Yeah, there you go. Standings. That's the word. We're ranked within the standings, and I don't know. It was pretty chill week. You guys go.
Yeah, so we didn't do so well. I think we got a win against Vanquish. There were some issues with the lobby and whatnot. I think what's his face? Snakebite was tweeting about it, saying that they were sending invites to Vanquish, and Vanquish said they weren't getting them, so they're trying to get that thing sorted out. So after beating Vanquish, there was a play against Winter Fox, I think, which was we played Warlord Capture the Flag, Warlord 5 Flag, which was a loss for us, Shrine Team Slayer, as well as Warlord Oddball and Shrine Neutral Bomb. So we actually lost the winner box as per the usual, which seems to be like that seems to be our kryptonite as of now. And I think our only win was on Shrine Team Slayer, which was traditionally one of our stronger maps since we've upped our firing power with Cloud. Even though we keep missing on.
Didn't like EG used to be our kryptonite, and now it's like Winter Fox?
Well, EG just used to be the best. Well, not the
EG was
best.
just
They
the
used to be
best
like
team.
the best
Okay.
team.
I
That
can
season.
see. I was,
They still are, aren't they? Aren't they ranked first?
Yeah.
I think they are.
I've
Yeah,
seen
I'm pretty sure
CLG play pretty well on Warlord, more so than not, and I was hoping to see strong
Some Warlord
Warlord
plays.
performances, but
But I think Ogre 2 is a very crucial part of their team, and I think
Yeah.
even if we want to say that the other rest of the team can do well, there is a thing that's missing when he isn't there. You can't run around without your goat, you know.
yeah, you can't.
Otherwise,
run
you'd just be an ogre without a donkey.
Cringe. So yeah, we lost 3-1 versus Winter Fox, and then had another. We had a consolation round versus Team Liquid, which was lost 0-3 or 3-0.
So much for consolation.
Yeah, we got a consolation loss. We played
Do you know what the
Warlord,
main
Lock,
point
and
of consolation
Shrine.
is?
Hmm?
Do you know what the main focus of the consolation is?
What do you mean?
On the console part. You're playing on the Xbox.
Got
That's
it.
it.
God, I knew it was gonna be a pun. I knew it. Oh, why'd you ask, Jim? Oh.
He didn't ask.
Maybe I knew the whole time.
Jesus.
Maybe we planned this out beforehand. Jim and I are actually pun buddies. You can say that we are both punishers.
All right, let's get this over.
Moving on.
Let's get this over
Before
with.
Rapunzel over here dies.
Jesus H. Christ. Okay, consolation round. We played our first game on Warlord, in which we lost 1-5, and then played
was the
on
bomb.
Lockdown and Team Slayer, losing 40-50, and then played on Shrine for Game 3, 3-flag CTF, losing 1-3.
So basically, the consolation round was like a literal stomp.
Yeah, to a reasonable
Basically,
degree.
literally, yes.
Basically,
I mean, we lost 3 out
I-
of 3. Amazing. Good job.
I couldn't even.
Good.
But in
Well,
the end,
all-
that put us
all about a
into
game.
that dropped us to the 7th and 8th place position, getting 25 HCS points. So that's my understanding is we're sitting at 175 points now, putting us in 5th place. But the site seems to be a bit odd. It puts Optic has 125 points and is ahead of us. So
Yeah, let's just hold off on it. 5th to 6th.
we'll
If there's anything wrong with
comment on
us,
this
you go
later.
blame Pride. It's all Pride's
And-
fault with it.
Yeah, it's something like that. Brendan, he smells funny. I can smell him through the
Exactly.
internet. You never know.
Okay,
And
so moving on to next plays and games of the week. Do you have a play you want to describe for us, Jim?
I wish I could describe or show one, but the VODs for both CEVO and ESEA, as I had said already, are just not available. I'd say if you can find VODs or hunt them down, the one I have noted is there are two highlights in the Elevate game on Mirage. Check out round 2 and round 8.
And this is the ESCA match, correct?
This is the ESEA match.
Okay.
Yes, go check those out. Round 2 and round 8 of the game versus Elevate on Mirage. Those there was a nice Molotov, very nice Molotov, and some very fancy opping. And
But if you actually want to play what you can find, you can go check out Hayes' very professional play
Oh, yeah.
on, I think it was,
exquisite
yes,
play.
as exquisite. He was like, got the fake down, he got the kill, and then he just fakes out the guy and then realizes that he's faking out himself, and then the bomb explodes and kills him.
So, player of the week. How do we feel about that then?
Finesse.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before.
Well, I was like the subreddit seems to think that Peter's the biggest player. They're posting pictures of him getting kissed by random Asian girls all the time now. So
Oh, double
mean
it,
double
Peter.
it.
he would be the biggest player.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he was
shut up.
the
Anyway.
player.
You were talking about double lift. I was like Peter, PTR. Peter.
Piang.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I bet double lift gets all the Asian honeys. I see that. But yeah, I vote Finesse. He's looking pretty strong this week, and he carried a good amount of weight. So you go, Finesse. You go.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. I'll put my vote in that category. Let's see if we can make a better way to decide on this one. I think if I had VODs to rewatch games, it would have made me very happy and able to make a more informed decision. But overall,
But I'm pretty sure Happy is on Envious, so why would you be happy?
Vishnu H. Christ.
So moving on to the next week, what's happening? We have lots of fun. Cry was like practically jumping out of her seat with LCS action. So just give us a rundown. Who are we going to be playing? You was like super excited. You're like LCS next week. We're gonna.
You jumped up a bit earlier.
You jumped up a bit.
Not.
There were hands and
There were
hands
hands.
in the
I
air,
did not jump.
like just don't care.
Okay, anyway, LCS is back, guys. Thank the Lord. I'm so happy. I've been so bored. League is back. God bless.
gosh, way to make the other teams feel good about themselves.
I love the other guys. They're awesome. But just like League is my child. You know? Anyway. For week 1, day 1, CLG versus Dig, they've got pretty much the same roster as the NLS split. And they were kind of like on an uphill, like they were doing better. So, huh?
They're like a Sisyphean struggle, like us. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, they were.
Falls back down the hill.
Yeah, they were picking it up. So I don't know. Maybe they're a powerhouse now. Ooh, we don't know.
Oh my
But
God.
we're gonna find out next
I'm
week.
so afraid of that Kiwi kid. I'm so sad that Cutie Pie's not in that game anymore.
Yeah, you said Kiwi Pie, and I was like, wait, is he back?
That Kiwi JJ lane. I'm so scared of that.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. That's the first day. Day 2, we've got versus Team Impulse. Yes, I keep calling it Team Impact, because Impact. Anyway, that's a thing. They've also got the same.
Second best jungler in NA is on that team because Santorin is the best jungler. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise.
Well, they've also
obviously.
got the same roster as last split. They were doing really well. And Rush, pretty good guy, man. Is he gold or something? But yeah, that'll be good. And especially for next week, we're gonna find out who our coach is.
Is something on fire?
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Jim is decided to class up the joint, so
Got a class.
can you teach us about our coaching staff, Monsieur Jim?
About our coaching staff?
Yeah, are we
What's
going to
that?
have a coach?
Well, we're gonna at least have someone standing in for the coach position come next week. We'll
Can you give
either
me a
have an announcement.
accent?
Hmm?
Can you give me a refined accent when you're talking about?
A refined accent.
Stop. Can we just?
Jeez, okay. It's like, for all we know, we may just have Zix in for coach this coming week, or we could get an announcement. Nothing has been kind of in the rumor mill or anything of the sort yet, but hopefully we'll hear that before the actual day of.
Okay.
It'll be really exciting day of to just.
Hey,
CLG is standing there. Oh, who the hell is this guy?
who is that Pokemon?
Oh, Hotshot GG's the coach now.
Well, oh yeah.
as you
Speaking of
know,
which,
this
rest
is not
in
a
peace.
Riot-sponsored broadcast with cigars and whatnot. So,
Purely
moving on to our, let's say PG-13 broadcast, we're going to be talking about the smoking hot CLG team, CS:GO. So, can you give us a rundown of who's going to be smoking, who's going to be hot?
There's gonna be 2 games next week, and it's only an ESL, no SIVO games. We've got one versus C9, which will be on 3 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday, and then versus Liquid, we actually have 2 best of ones. It's 2 best of ones, like right after each other.
Yeah.
But they're not like a best of 2. It's just 2 separate things. It's versus Liquid, and it's on Saturday, 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. Pacific time. And
yeah, there's going to be an inferno because Jim is smoking his cigar. So we're going to be moving on.
Jeez, it's like we had this planned.
I know, right? This is
Anyway.
a sketch bit. So after we're done training, we can move on to Halo.
Yeah, Halo, not my area. Go.
Come on.
Oh,
I
one
thought
thing
you
to
were an
note.
angel.
One thing to note if you're watching this on CS:GO, on the calendar, it does note that the C9 game for ESL is on Sunday rather than Saturday.
And this calendar is the one on the subreddit, which was,
Yes.
I think, created by a very, very generous member of our community who donated oodles of time.
Here, let's be a good
I think it's
person and give
Sleepy
him
X
credit.
Dude.
Yes, Sleepy X Dude, all the credit to you. I wanted to get something like that done, but real life really got ahead of me.
And I just kind of goofed off in the corner.
Okay, so let's say, as we were noting, as I was noting, the in that calendar we do have the C9 game listed as on Sunday. Though if you go to the ESL schedule site, it does have it listed under the Saturday timing, but it's like off in a weird place on Saturday. So
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. It may just be a bit of a mess up on their formatting end. So we can throw a comment onto the section on this
All
if
right.
need be. But
So, well, moving
Saturday
on to
or Sunday for that game.
Saturday or Sunday, there's going to be a match, right? And
Versus
then there is
C9.
possibly another bunch of ogres. A lot of ogres on. Maybe he's still at Hawaii. Maybe he's back.
His
We
trip
don't
will
really
be
know.
ogre. I mean,
If we have to
really-
stop using ogre jokes. Those aren't like.
I'll just start
Those are
saying.
so 2014.
I'll just start yelling.
I
Donkey.
put aside like an hour and a half of my life every Monday to listen to you guys do this.
Hey, you used a dank meme. You thought he
It
was
wasn't
gold
a
or something.
pun. It was an
No,
ogre.
it was a dank meme. We've officially converted Cry into a dank memer.
Dank meme.
So-
Okay. Let's finish this out. Halo, Sunday, like always, 1 p.m. We have the Halo Online Cup 4. So another tournament akin to the one that we had this past Sunday. Hopefully
Mhm.
the team does better. The bracket for that I haven't found released yet, but it will be released later in the week.
All right. So, all the jokes and puns aside, we're going to be supporting CLG next week, right? We're going to be chanting that.
Don't you
Baylife.
say that, you TSM fan.
I know, right? No, we'll be chanting that Baylife,
Dirty
you know?
TSM fan.
Dirty TSM band. So while I will be donning that black and white, you guys can be black and blue with all your CLG fun.
Should I just like? I was gonna get my CLJ hoodie, but then I'd have to get up. And
Come on,
Like,
I've
Come on,
got black and blue.
Have that.
fine, be right back.
Black and blue.
So now
Black, blue.
that we sent Cry off the show with the
Sucker,
CLG
this
jersey.
shit is autographed. Fuck you, man. Ugh. Okay. Anyway,
That isn't a jersey, is it? Or is that a 2013 jersey?
no, it's it was their official hoodie like 2 splits ago. Last
splits
split.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's so
2
last
splits ago.
split. That's so two
Yeah, that's
splits.
it's still got like a Zubu, like written on the thing. Check it.
Yep.
A Zubu.
That's the thing.
Okay,
It's a thing of the past, just like CLG success. So, let's
Oh,
go.
jeez, what a hater.
God.
I know, right? I'm
Continue.
digging that haterade.
But I think we've gotten through everything, more or less,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, good.
So, Golden Age. I mean, Golden Age, my bad. I messed that up.
Age.
Not Golden Gauge. It's Golden Age. We're going to have faith. And we'll see you guys next week. So, please don't kill me on the subreddit.
I'll
And-
kill
Kill
you.
him on the subreddit.
Please do so.
Please do so. Yeah.
We'll see you
Bye,
guys.
guys.